eligible, but some
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome in here. We join you after one batter here in this game, and it was a leadoff double, and now the pass ball is going to give her third base. The 3-0 pitch is in there to the zone. Samantha Clare starts on the mound here. She is a KU commit. Has racked up 61 strikeouts on the season. Had 17 in the first game on the year. She has lost the first two batters here. So under some quick pressure, it was a leadoff double. This is Claire's fifth start on the year. She has a 5-0 record, has made 4 complete game appearances. And now a run's going to score here for Tongi, and there will be 2 in. Throw over to third did not work out there, and there's already 2 in.
That throw was a little bit high, quite a bit over the head. Just completely missed that one, left the door wide open for the Chieftains to come in here. Haven't beaten these Cardinals since April of 2023. It's been over 2 full years since they've been able to beat the Cards, but starting off on the right foot today, already up 2-0. You think Claire had pressure on before? What do you think it's feeling like right now?
She came in with a .7 ERA through 30 innings of work, which is just ridiculous.
It's absurd.
But already 2 runs in here on her. It's going to make the Chieftains feel pretty good.
I think a big key here early on might be, that hot start is going to do a lot to quell the crowd just a little bit, which especially on the road here is going to be helpful for the Chieftains.
And there Claire gets her first strikeout in this game.
Weehee up to bat, number 12, Prickett on deck.
So that brings Weehee to the plate. Cards come in 8-0 on the year. The Chieftains 5-3. This Cardinals team have a lot of special players on it. They've got multiple college commits. We mentioned Sam Clare will be going to KU. Katie Corder and Reese Pattison will be continuing their careers on Varsity Sports Live when they go over to Johnson County for the next couple years, following Kenzie Yoder, who's there now. Alexia Bourne will be going to Wisconsin Superior, and Jaden Burris is an Iowa Western commit. Jaden Burris was originally last year a verbal commit to Missouri Western, as this one's going to get through on the right side of the infield. So another hit here for Tonganoxie. Claire had only allowed 12 hits all season, a couple against her here in this first inning. So now the batter here is Prickett with 1 out, a runner at first, 2 runs in. Claire gets her second strikeout of the game. That is her specialty by far. The amount of strikeouts that she racks up is just ridiculous. It's not something that a lot of softball pitchers have in their arsenal, as this one's going to get away from Pattison behind the plate, which will give Weehee second base.
Couple of those little errors already today. Just giving the Chieftains a lot of opportunities so far to capitalize, even if it's not necessarily getting runs, although they have gotten a couple of those. Just managing to move from plate to plate. Definitely errors the Cards would want to minimize if they're able to. As you said, maybe a more fiery first inning to start here than they're used to allowing so far through this season.
Yeah, Claire has thrown 3 shutout starts this season. She will get a 3rd strikeout, so she strikes out for all 3 outs in the inning, but they do get a couple across for the Chieftains. So work to do for the Cards when they come up in the bottom half of the first.
At Kansas Insurance, we know one size doesn't fit all. In fact, our whole mindset is based on customized policies for you and your families. We're local, and we do what we do because we care about you. Think of us as brokers for your insurance needs. Working with Kansas Insurance gets you the award-winning service and attention to detail that only an independent agency can provide. All across Kansas, we're here to help you manage and plan for all types of risk. Contact a local agent today. Kansas Insurance. Local, independent, serving you.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
All right, so bottom of the first here. Reed McAvoy, Hayden Harves with you here on Eudora Sports Live for one of a couple different softball matchups that we'll get to bring to you this season. And this one is a Samantha Claire start, which she is a high topic of conversation. She's been covered in the Lawrence Journal, and there's some KU articles, of course, anticipating her arrival next year. They were already anticipating her last year when she had a 2.25 ERA, had 14 of the 22 Cardinals wins, along with batting .467. It's just ridiculous. It's like she's a video game character.
Truly.
But the Chieftains have got a couple runs on her, so there is work to do. They were unearned runs because of the error, but they are runs all the same. They don't go on Claire's ERA.
Show up on the scoreboard, though.
So Katie Corder is the leadoff batter. She's batting .615 on the year. Has racked up 5 doubles. A very speedy batter. She has 20 stolen bases. So she could look to try and hit one along the infield. Looks like she was trying to drop down a bunt to let her run loose down the first base line.
Those 20 stolen are just this season. 20 stolen bases in 8 games. That is absurd. As you said, video game numbers.
Cards as a team have 53 stolen bases on the year. They've only been caught stealing 4 times on the base paths. And it's a lot harder to steal. Well, I don't know, a lot harder, but it's more difficult because the runner has to stay put on the bag until the pitch is released. Whereas in baseball, they can take a lead off of the bag.
Right.
But it is also 60 feet rather than 90.
Be curious to see which way the players would rather go. Would you rather have the shorter distance or rather be able to move beforehand? That's significant, but that running start, really, really valuable.
Corder works the count full. She has worked 9 walks this season, leads the Cardinals team.
I'm sure with that speed, as you said, if she's able to get to first base, give herself an opportunity to steal, wouldn't necessarily be something she'd be upset about.
And she will work a walk. So the dangerous speed of Quarter is on base.
Born up to bat, catcher number 32, Patterson on deck.
So that brings in Bourne, who is also batting .615 on the year, has driven in 18 runs, worked 8 walks, has 7 extra base hits, 3 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. Runner goes, and Quarter has her 21st stolen bag of the year.
It's kind of wild. The crowd reaction wasn't even, it's almost like they're used to seeing it, which just speaks to how prolific this team is at doing that. I mean, it's such an incredible stat to me. Still a little hung up on that one, being able to steal so many bases in so few games.
And she will now go for third, and the ball's going to get away. She has to run over the third baseman, and she will come home and score. Quarter making chaos on the base paths has halved the deficit in this game. So the Cardinals have their first run, and it's still Bourne at the plate.
Got to think that's an error the Chieftains will be desperately wanting back, because I think, not 100% sure, of course, but the way the ball was going, I believe Quarter might have been caught out there if that one would have been caught at third base. So just really, really tough miss, because against this team, a 2-run lead is far from comfortable, Reed.
Starting pitcher here for the Chieftains is Steen. Steen with the 2-1 pitch to Bourne. It's hit over to third, where it's fielded by Weehee, who's able to throw and record the first out here. Feels like there's been a lot of action, but it's only been 2 batters. They put Quarter on, and you just can't afford to do that. Stole 2 bases, already scored. Then Bourne grounds out for the first of the inning. So that brings the catcher, Reese Pattison. Pattison hitting .478 on the year. Has hit 5 doubles, 2 homers. Pattison takes that one low. Pattison and Quarter, we mentioned, will be going to Johnson County. A lot of collegiate ball players on this Cardinals team. Just shows how strong they are. They were one of the best teams in the state the last 3 years running, really.
2022 state champions, I believe. Yeah, I've skipped it over on the last 2, but I have been tempted to say, well, here's a college commit, but there's just so many collegiate commits on this team, which, as you made it sound like, even as juniors, a few of them may have been verbally committed.
Oh, yeah.
Just shows you how unbelievable a lot of these players are.
So a walk issued to Pattison, a second walk in the inning from Steen, only 1 away. She's walked both of those future Cavaliers. And now Burris will be batting.
Number 7, Grant, courtesy running for Pattison.
Marley Grant, the junior, will courtesy run over at first. She has a stolen base on the year. And now Burris digs in with a .500 batting average. Has 10 runs driven in 2 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers. And this one will be hit softly out to right, and it's going to be caught by Shonick, working to her left to record out number 2.
Really good job so far in the bottom of this first by the Chieftains to kind of limit the damage the Cards have been able to do. Started off really, really hot with quarter stealing home with no outs on the board. Looked as if they were going to be able to rumble back somewhat easily, but just like that, Chieftains tacked on 2 outs and really kept the pressure on the Cards, at least here in the first inning.
So now the pitcher batting for herself, Sam Clare. Whenever she's not starting on the mound, she will start at first base. This one will be popped. It'll go foul. She's hitting .526 on the young season. Has 12 runs driven in. Has a double and a home run. Sam Clare is a true two-way player. You could see her pursuing either side of the ball specifically, but I imagine KU will try and use her both ways because she is so good at both offense and defense.
Be hard to not use a player that versatile both ways. I mean, it's almost so tempting. It's hard to just stick them at one spot and say, stay here, when you've got a player you know you can put essentially anywhere. Let them go to work and do it well.
She originally grew up in Kansas City before moving to Eudora, and then when she was looking for where she wanted to go to college, the visit at KU was what they said what sold her on it, and the fact that she would get to stay close to home. There was no question in her mind that she wanted to be a Jayhawk, and that she will be. Called strike there, so the count evens at 2s. And now the count goes full to the pitcher. This inning began with a walk, then a stolen base. There was a ground out, and then an error throwing over to third as this one's popped up, the full count pitch, and it was in play there for Prickett, but she could not pick it. So the inning will continue. As I was going through that recap, Corder stole third, and then there was an error throwing down to try and get her, so she was able to come home and score. That's where our run came from. Then Pattison walked. She was courtesy ran for by Grant, who's still on. We've seen a pop out, and now Sam Clare here at the dish. Fouls that to stay alive.
Doing a really good job to maintain contact on just about every swing, but struggling yet to really connect on a good one. And these outfielders for the Chieftains have already proven capable of being able to chase down those deeper balls and get to them fairly effortlessly thus far.
Another full count pitch. This one popped again to first. Prickett calls off, and then that one's going to drop in fair territory. So that will go down as a hit for Sam Clare, and the inning will continue.
Looked like just straight up confusion. 2 Chieftains right there. Looked as if one called for it. Maybe the other one did, so they both almost stepped away. Could have also well lost it in the light out here in Eudora.
So a pop fly single, and there will be another courtesy runner.
Number 15, Strickland, courtesy running for Claire.
That is Strickland courtesy running.
Strickland has a stolen base on the year.
Be big if she's able to get another.
And it brings Brooks up to the plate.
Pitching outside quite a bit here with the recent hitters.
Brooks was not in the Cardinals' first starting lineups this season. It took a couple games for her to break in, but she's absolutely done so. Has a .500 batting average through 18 ABs. has driven in 6 runs, a couple walks, couple doubles, and she turns around on this one, a high drive to center, backing up Shonick, looking up, it's gone! A first homer on the year for Brooks gives the Cardinals the lead.
Unbelievable, too. You could see it not only with the Cards roster, but also with the Chieftains outfielders. Tried to pursue that one, and well before it even got to her, just realized there was no chance getting to that one. So well hit, so well done there.
So the sophomore first baseman turned around on that one, and the Cardinals are on top after they gave up a couple to start. Looked a little bit shaky for maybe a moment. Their offense has come to play here and taken the lead.
Yeah, certainly not looking shaky anymore. If there were any rust or any nerves, those are well gone at this point.
So that brings Cundiff to the plate.
How about those 2 outs early for the Chieftains? Put themselves in a really good position to maybe get this Eudora offense off.
And this one's going to get through the left side.
Thomas up to bat. Second baseman number 5, Arnold on deck.
So another 2-out hit. That will bring in Arnold. The second baseman has a .357 batting average on the year. She is the 8th different Cardinals batter here in the inning. What? Oh. My mistake. Rather, Hammies is the batter. Still the 8th batter of the inning, but yep. Arnold waits on deck.
I'll say Arnold's still on deck, so the numbers are all still relevant.
Hammies has 5 ABs this season, yet to get her first hit on the year, but has worked 4 walks, so has not had any problem getting on base. And this one will be hit back to the mound. Steen fields and fires over to first to get the final out of the inning. But the Cardinals get 4 runs on 3 hits and an error. They've taken the lead as we head to the second.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue.
Top of the second here after the Cardinals for a moment were trailing, but they have taken the lead in this game, and now the pitcher Steen will bat for herself. The 7-hitter in the Tongi order, so it's 7, 8, and 9 to do battle here with Claire, and quickly Steen is down 0-2.
Yeah, Chieftains coming into today, as we mentioned, with that 5-3 record. They lost both games in their doubleheader to Spring Hill, and since then rattled off 2 comfortable wins in a doubleheader against Bishop Ward, 13-1 and 17-0. The margins in those ones. So their last 2 games played really, really well, and they've come out looking pretty good, all things considered, here against the Cards, putting a little bit of pressure on the 8-0 team.
Cardinals nearly bat around. 8 batters came to the plate in that bottom of the first. They've given Sam Clare support, and she gets another strikeout, her 4th of the game. She's recorded 4 outs today.
Crane up to bat, number 5, Carlton on deck.
I'd pretty well say whatever shakiness there might have been early is pretty much gone at this point.
It'll be on the fielders as well. They've committed an error today, which is the 10th on the season for the Cards. Not a bad average at all through 8, now 9 games. Just want to keep it there. Don't need to be giving up any more unearned runs. Cardinals have only allowed 5 total unearned runs on the year. They've only allowed a total of 17 runs, and yet another strikeout for Clare.
It's number 5.
Carlton up to bat, number 15, Maslock on deck.
So now it's the 9-hitter Carlton before the lineup would turn over for the first time. Clare in her first start on the year had 17 strikeouts. In a 7-inning game, there's only 21 outs that need to be made. Tongi did manage to work a walk against her. Only the 7th walk all season issued by Clare. And now has found herself back in the count, 2-2. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Taken high, count goes full. And that one is in there. So 6 strikeouts for Clare. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the second. The Cards still up by a couple as we head to the bottom half.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
All right, bottom of the second here. After the Cards gave up a couple in the top of the first, they were able to have a 3 up, 3 down top of the second. And could try and add on after 8 batters came to the plate in the first inning. They put up 3 hits, 4 runs. Brings in Arnold, the 9 batter, hitting .357 on the season. So looking for the slap hit there. Slap hit, a common technique for lefty batters. They try and just drop one down along the infield, get out of the box as quick as possible down the line. An MLB comparison, if you need, is Ichiro Suzuki. Basically was a slap hitter. But it is a common softball technique specifically that lefty batters are good at. It's not about extra base hits or anything. It's just about getting on base
as quickly as possible.
This one, though, she will swing at and pop up, and Weehee makes a diving catch for out number 1.
Quarter up to bat, number 31 Bourne on deck.
So the lineup turns over for the first time. That brings in Quarter, who walked, stole a couple bases, and scored in that 4-run first inning. She will drop down a bunt here and take off for first base. And she will reach, and then the throw's going to get away, but she will just stay put, content with first base.
Good reaction time by Quarter. As soon as that ball dropped, turned her head right towards second base, see if she had an opportunity to run for it, but does choose to hold at first. And again, we saw in that first inning just her capability being able to steal bases, so I'm sure she's not too worried about having to stay over at that first bag.
Bourne grounded out to third in her first trip. But before she got the chance to do that, she saw Quarter steal a couple of bases and score, which she will take off for second here. And the throw will go into center, but she will just stay put once again, not trying to do anything too dangerous.
Just putting so much pressure on the catcher and the pitcher, knowing that if she does take off, you've got to be truly perfect to get that exchange from the pitcher to the catcher, and then the catcher getting that longer throw over to second base. And if you don't have it right on target, if that baseman has to step away, just easy money for the speedy Quarter.
And Quarter takes off for third, but then thinks better of it and heads back to second. Quarter again taunting the catcher and retreats back to second once again.
Taunting, she was halfway between. And again, clearly really, really comfortable with her ability to get back if needed.
Well, yeah, I mean, if they throw down to second, she's just going to take third.
Right, right. Just about going the right way at that point. Does it again.
It's a 3-1 count here to Bourne. He's worked 8 walks thus far on the year. 1 per game. And a high pitch for ball 4. That'll put 2 runners on here with just 1 out.
Addison up to bat, number 42 Burris on deck.
And Pattison now a chance, as will the rest of these batters, but Pattison an opportunity to maybe kind of take the top off of this game. Again, if she's able to connect with a good hit, take this from a close game to a really comfortable one really quickly.
Pattison walked in her first trip. And this time Quarter does go for third. The throw, honestly, the ball was there kind of in time, but not close enough to the base. And Bourne also swiped second on the backside, so a double steal for the Cards.
Keep an eye on Quarter here at third. Catcher very much so keeping an eye on her at this point.
Quarter with already 4 stolen bases in this game. Her most in a game this season is 5.
It's a pretty good start.
This one will be popped up, and that's not going to be deep enough for Quarter to score, as it's still along the infield where Weehee brings it in for out number 2.
Shot by Weehee in at that third base spot. Has both of the outs so far here. First one on a really impressive diving catch.
So now Burris, who popped to center. And Now with 2 outs, it has to be a hit if the Cardinals are going to capitalize on Quarter's leadoff hit. Or rather, it was a 1-out hit.
Yep. Sure be a shame to leave 2 on base, though. Even with a lead, it's a scenario you really want to avoid.
And Burris puts a great swing on that one. Left fielder misplayed it. It will drop, and the Cardinals will score. And then Carlton puts her hands up, which means she can't get to the ball. So a couple runs will score. They will place Burris at second. She's got a 2 RBI double.
Ball is tossed back over by a fan over there.
Yeah, it looked like it must have went under the wall.
And it bounced over it.
Oh, was it a ground rule double? Okay.
Yep, made contact a couple feet from the wall and just good bounce went straight up over, causing the hands to immediately go up. Said, I can't get to that.
So it's Burris' 8th extra base hit on the year. Puts her up to 12 RBIs on the season. And gives the Cardinals a 4-run lead. Brings the pitcher Sam Clare to the plate. Had that pop-up that ended up being a hit, maybe generously so for her. Clearly, though, the sun is a problem. It factored into Carlton misplaying that ball in left field. That's just another reason that the strikeouts are so great for the Cards. They don't have to worry about fielding the ball against the sun.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's been a contributor to more than one of the misplays on those popped-up balls that we've seen. Just really, really tough to track it in the sun. You and I both know you got your eyes on it, and it takes truly a blink, and then you've lost it.
And this one will be scooped to right. Crane tracking it down and bringing it in for the 3rd out. So the Cardinals are able to get 2 runs on 2 hits. It's 6-2 as we head to the 3rd.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Rope, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Micro, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright. Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do. And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
So the Tonganoxie lineup is turned over here for the first time. Maslak digs in, led off that 2-run first inning with a double to left field. Which, to this point, is one of 2 hits for the Chieftains, which both came in that first inning. Player has recorded all 6 outs by way of the strikeout thus far, pushing her season tally up to 67.
Man, the numbers for this team really do sound video game-like. I mean, everything is so high. I mean, every aspect of this team, definition of a well-oiled machine here.
And because the 2 runs that she's allowed are unearned, her season ERA has only gone down. It's at .66 now, if you'd like another video game sounding number.
We're never going to say no to this.
Count is full here to Maslak, who has a double in the game, but will swing and miss and become Claire's 7th strikeout.
I suppose if you're going to go down, you want to go down swinging, but Claire's certainly not giving a lot of other options today. Just been stone cold from that pitching spot.
Claire has at this point retired 6 consecutive batters. Okay. This is now Putoff, who worked a walk in her first trip. Big swing and miss there for strike 2.
As you may have noticed and may be able to hear, may have seen it over on Brooks' homer, the crowd is here and full for Eudora. Stands are completely packed, fans chanting, kids are out playing around. Really, really impressive showing out here today.
7 straight for Claire.
Tulsa up to bat, number 14, Leahy on deck.
Now up comes Halsa.
Also went down looking in the first trip. After we get past the next batter, Weehee, who worked a hit in her previous trip, I won't need to tell you about what happened in the previous trip anymore because it's been 7 consecutive strikeouts.
Wow.
But right now, Claire is still doing battle with the first 4 of the Tongi order, who were the ones that put across those couple runs. And this will be hit out to center. And we will see our first non-strikeout out of the Chieftains, and that will end the top of the third with the Cardinals still up by 4.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
All right, so the bottom of the third. We get going here. The Cardinals put up 4 in the bottom of the first, 2 in the bottom of the second. And it will be Brooks to begin here for the third. Had her first homer of the year in her previous trip, sent it out to dead center field. That was the swing that gave the Cardinals the lead. Took the game from 2-1 Chieftains to 4-2 Cards.
Say it's also the swing that kind of brought the Cards back to form, really. I mean, they had that run and, of course, had some form already from quarter, but that was the one that kind of blew the doors open and opened the door for this Cards team to really hit the ground running today.
And this one will be popped over to third, where it's going to be booted over there off the heel of the glove. That'll be an error against the Chieftains. That puts Brooks on base to start the bottom of the third. Cardinals are a team where you typically cannot afford to make mistakes like that.
No, and especially, I believe that was Weehee over there, who's had a couple of really good plays over by that third base over on the left side. Already, right after that, puts their glove up to kind of shield herself from the sun, which we've already mentioned is going to be a big factor today, especially as the sun starts to set a little bit, change up the shade.
Yeah, later start time here, just a one-off game between the Cards and Chieftains. Got going a little bit before the scheduled first pitch time of 6:15 because the JV game ended with a mercy rule victory for the Cards.
That sunset not supposed to happen for about another hour, but of course until then, sun will start to drop down a little bit.
Yeah, that's kind of bad news for the players. That means that the sun's just still going to be in their eyes.
Right. Well,
on the horizon.
And not only that, but it's inconsistent. When you get used to it being in one spot, and then by the time the next inning cycles around, it'll be a little bit lower, a little bit tougher to track. Definitely not doing any favors for these Chieftain outfielders.
Cundiff with a bit of a hesitant swing there, leading to strike two. Had a single on a grounder to left in her first trip. Count is 2-2 for Cundiff. Hitting 381 on the year with that first hit, and this one's going to be right back up the middle. She's got a multi-hit game. First two Cardinals batters reach.
Really, really well hit, too. Really well positioned perfectly just over second base, but well shy of the outfielder out in center field who had to track that one down a little bit, get closer to it. Gave plenty of time for Cundiff to get over to first base.
Yeah, not a powerful swing, but it worked out. It put it into shallow center.
Say sometimes that touch is more important than power.
And you can see how deep the Tongi outfield are playing, even here on the batter, Hammies.
Maybe
who at
10 feet from the wall.
Is still looking for her first hit on the year. But they are playing pretty deep back, so that shallow hit from Cundiff worked perfectly. And that means that if the Cardinals get any more of those shallow hits or even anything that finds a gap through the infield,
right,
they have a lot of time to round the bases, and they are typically a pretty quick team.
Big swing there from Hammes, but it also really keeps the Chieftains on their toes, and kind of it's got to be a little bit frustrating for an outfield because you go from them hitting it so far going over the fence to where it backs those outfielders up a little bit. Then if they start hitting more shallow, you're drawing them forward again, and it's just never letting those outfielders get into a consistent kind of pace and routine, which is always going to be beneficial for this Cards offense.
Hammes is in the lineup as the designated player, batting in place of Carpenter, the left fielder. There's, of course, Claire batting for herself, the pitcher. So she is not a fielder for the time being, at least. And this one's going to get away from the catcher put-off. And that gives the Cardinals runners an extra 60 feet each. So now they're both standing in scoring position. And this one will be hit over to third, where he is able to stay in front of it and record out number one, but it is an RBI ground out as the Cardinals score their 7th run in this game.
Arnold up to bat, number 1/4 on deck.
See the excitement over there close to the dugout. It's just, man, it's so tough. So tough to play against a team like that where you're in a lose-lose situation either way there if you're Tonganoxie. You let them get the base or you let them get the run. Now the Cards really starting to step into their stride and start to walk away with this one here in the third.
Well, outs have come at a premium, so I imagine they'll reluctantly take that trade. Of course, would like to be keeping it where it is because it's already a lot of work to do for them, especially against Samantha Claire. But an out is an out.
Certainly one of the last pitchers in the Frontier League, even the last one in the state maybe, that you'd want to be trying to dig yourself out of a 5-run hole against. And a team that's so used to playing with a lead nonetheless, got to imagine they're pretty good at knowing how to cruise once they get to a gap like this.
This one will be hit to short. It'll be another RBI ground out, and they're actually not going to complete the out. So Arnold is safe over at first on another error, a second committed in this inning by the Chieftains. And 2 are in for the Cards and still only 1 away.
I believe that was, if I catch a jersey number, I believe it was Prickett over there at first, and clearly pretty frustrated with herself on that drop. As you said, outs have come at such a premium today. That's a big deal in of itself, and then again, you find yourself in a significant deficit. Just so important to try to get your defense off the field. Drops like that are going to be the ones that keep a player a little frustrated on the ride home, and definitely ones they're going to want to have back if they have any opportunity.
So already 2 in here in the third. The Cards put up 2 in the second, 4 in the first. And now Quarter is up to bat for the third time. Walked in her first trip, a bunt single in her previous AB.
And as we know, safest Tonganoxie might be is with her batting is when she's on the bases. Has been a complete nuisance today. I believe she's stolen second, stolen third, and stolen home today. I believe her total number sits 4
coming
or 5.
home was on an error, but yes, she did.
Yep, my bad.
Steal second and third, and on that steal was able to also score. It functioned like stealing home.
What is the total number? She at 4 right now?
Still 4, yes.
Said the high this season is 5. She's certainly capable today, if given the opportunity of pushing that number up even higher.
And Quarter turns around on one. Carlton backing up, and that one's going to land at the edge of the warning track. Arnold rounds and gets to third. So it is a 1-out double. The Cardinals' onslaught here continues in the third.
Born up to bat.
Which will now bring up University of Wisconsin Superior commit, Alexia Bourne.
So Quarter with a 2-hit day has reached in all 3 trips. And the Cards now have a couple more runners in scoring position, could try to get up to double digits. And now Bourne digs in, walked in her previous trip after grounding out the first time, so 0 for 1. Still only 1 out. This inning began with an error in favor of the Cards. And then there was a single, and then the runners advanced on a passed ball and were driven in on a ground out by Hammis. Then another error, a double, and now we are here.
Do you find it funny as well that right as we're talking about Quarter's prowess as somebody to steal bases, she proves competence in an entirely different category. Right as we're speaking about it, hits that one deep to left field.
Oh, yeah, she's a fantastic batter, and if she can drop it in the outfield, it's almost a guaranteed double. She got her 6th on the year. And Bourne turns around on one to left field, and this one it lands in front of Carlton. Arnold will score. Quarter had to hold up for a second to let Arnold score in front of her. It's a 4-run third for the Cards. They're into double digits here in this game.
And still just a 1 out. Plenty more room to work here.
Number 32, Pattison up to bat.
You see the energy as they walk over to the sideline. Celebration from Quarter and Pattison. And the Chieftains will come together over by the pitcher's circle.
Talking things over with Steen, who at this point has allowed 8 hits, 10 runs, 6 of them earned, has walked 3 batters. Pattison will be the 7th batter of this third for the Cards. Will she dig in against the same pitcher or a different one? Maybe just talking things over. Home plate ump going out slowly to let them know that their time is running thin. And there will not be a pitching change, just a talk of how Steen's doing and how she wants to continue to attack here. So she will dig in against Pattison, who is 0 for 1 against the starter, but did work a walk in her first trip.
And with Still born up there at second base in scoring position.
This one will be hit to left. Carlton's been struggling with the last two balls hit her way. And this one's going to drop out there. Bourne will take off for third, where she will slide in safely. And Pattison will pull into second base.
Now the excitement and energy up here in the stands. Palpable, partially over at the dugout, partially amongst the fans here. But the energy mounting as the Cards threaten
There will be
one,
a
maybe
courtesy
two more runs.
runner. Grant once again comes in for Pattison. 3 balls in this inning have been hit to left field where Carlton is, and it has been completely misplayed, but I think that the culprit is the sun, really. But she has just been really, I mean, it's looked like she's pretty clueless, but I think she's just unable to locate the ball.
Yeah,
I don't think
absolutely.
that she's bad at her job.
No,
but
I don't think anybody else would really be playing a whole lot better back there. I think the visibility is just really, really poor right now.
And the Cardinals have a lot of righty batters, which isn't super typical for softball, but the Cardinals pull it into the left part of the outfield. It has been very beneficial for them.
You got to think they understand that benefit. I mean, they know very well at this point that it's tough to locate the ball over there, so that's going to play to their favor more often than not to send it that way.
This one will go to left center. Maslak backing up, and did she make that catch?
Oh,
no, she did not. She almost did. The throw comes into third, so Burris will pull into second. That was an amazing effort from Maslak, who nearly made that catch.
Man.
But it did drop.
I mean, that may have been the hardest ball to play all day long, sun or not, just to track that one the way she did. I believe she had it in her glove, actually.
Claire up to bat, number 18 Brooks.
Really, really impressive. Of course, does not amount to anything on the scoreboard or on the outs, but certainly a really, really impressive effort and play.
Still only 1 out in the third. And now Claire comes to bat. 1 for 2 in the game.
Makes contact with that one low. The field now just a little more shady than it was a couple of minutes ago, but the sun's still very prominent over there. Carlton's still trying to shield her eyes a little bit.
And Claire will scoop this one to the opposite field where it's caught on a line by Crane for out number 2, and Grant will stay put at third. So the Chieftains finally have recorded out number 2. It was maybe a little bit merciful that she hit that one to the opposite field.
Maybe so. Now comes the small matter of keeping it there, keeping the Cards from getting these 2 runners on second and third back to home,
So
which would push the deficit up even higher for the Chieftains, something you know they're going to want to avoid at all costs right now, as this hole already feeling 10 feet deep.
Cardinals have bat around to Brooks, who will swing at this one, hit it to left, and it's going to drop out there. So the 2 runs will score, and Brooks has a 2-run double.
How good of a day has Brooks had? Really, really impressive on all of her ABs so far.
2 for 3 with a double, a home run, 5 runs driven in. And now Cundiff will be the 11th batter of the inning as the Cardinals would bat around. And then another one now. Brings in Cundiff, who's 2 for 2. And Cundiff will pop this one up. Halza calling off, and she can't make the catch. Another mistake from Tongi, and another run scores for the Cards.
Those of you keeping track, that makes for an 8-run third inning. for the Cards today, and still just 2 outs on the board. Oh, was it 6?
6-run inning. Yes, they came in with 6 runs. They've doubled their tally. So they put up 4 in the first, 2 in the second, and now have put up 6 here in this third.
Let's just say there's a reason.
You are right. You are right. I hadn't updated my scoreboard.
I thought I was. Say math is not my strong suit. There's a reason I broadcast.
No. That was my fault. You're right. 8-run inning. So many I've lost track.
Right. This team does. That's a good knack to have, right?
Can have that effect on people.
If you're going to critique a team, if the critique is they scored too many runs for me to keep track of, I think that's a complaint these Lady Cards will take all day long and then some.
I think a small story here that you could focus on is Hamas maybe trying to find her first hit on the year. She's worked 3 walks, already drove in her first run of the year in her previous trip where she grounded out. But she would love to find some grass with the swing here.
Cundiff looking a little Katie Corder-esque over there at second base.
And she will get her first hit on the year, and it's going to be, well, maybe another RBI hit. It's going to be close at the plate, but Cundiff will come in and score a 9th run in the inning. Hamas gets her second RBI of the day and her first hit on the year.
Man.
Arnold up to bat, number 1 quarter on deck.
Feels like between the crowd, you can hear them cheering in the dugout. The energy super high. This team amped up with what is now a 13-run advantage in just the 3rd inning.
Yeah, the Cardinals are on the verge of getting this game over with. 15 after 3 would do it.
That seemed impossible when we started this 3rd inning. They were leading, but certainly wasn't that comfortable, but they have truly blown the doors off of the Chieftains here in the bottom of the 3rd.
The Cardinals have gotten a couple of their games done in 5 innings this season, but yet to get one over in 3.
First time for everything.
So it brings in the 13th batter in the inning in the form of Arnold, who's 0 for 2, and she'll get her first hit. Hammies will turn at 3rd, and the Cardinals are within 1 of getting this game over with.
Alexia Bourne has been over there just outside the dugout playing motivator for the last couple of ABs.
I can't remember the last time we saw a Cardinals runner only at first base. I was going to compliment. They've done a really good job on the backside of every play if there's a throw coming in or whatever it may be to make sure that they get to second base, whether or not it's a double that they are getting or the error, whatever it is. I think it must have been a walk that put the Cardinals put a Cardinal on first base last time. But this time Arnold with that hit to right field, so she had to stay put at first base. So the 14th batter of the inning is Corder as she will dig in for the 4th time amidst a 2 for 2 day with a walk.
She did the last game too. Oh, sorry. No.
And you mentioned as well that with the speed this entire team has, if they hit anything to left field, essentially almost all of them are going to have a chance to get a double out of it. Like you said, the only reason really why you see someone stationed at first base is because it was a right field hit.
This one, though, will be a wild pitch that will allow Arnold to snag second. Could be a pretty quick one here.
Yeah.
Hayden, which normally is a cardinal sin, not to make a pun, that you don't mention the speed of a game. But here's a hit by a quick 1 quarter, but she will be retired, so that is my fault. I said it's going to be a quick one, and I messed it up literally immediately.
You even acknowledged. Yes. We don't usually say it.
Quarter of the first time being retired here means that we will see a 4th inning of this one with our score 16-2.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community, with all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner.
All right, so here we are on into the fourth inning of this game, with the Cardinals up by 14 on the Chieftains, who at one point led this game. They scored the first 2 runs. The Cardinals have responded by putting up 16. They put up 4 in the first, 2 in the second, and 10 in the third. Sam Clare will continue on the mound here. She has struck out all but one batter that she has retired, and the 2 runs that came across were unearned. Weehee singled to right field last time. One of only 2 Chieftain hitters to have a base hit. Third baseman Burris is playing the batter to pull very short, and there will be a 9th strikeout for Sam Clare. Weehee goes down with the swing and miss.
Cricket up to bat, number 3, Shonek on deck.
9 on the day. I'm feeling like a video game number. What does that bring the total up to on the year, do we think?
Puts her right at 70. That is her 70th strikeout of this 2025 season.
Wow.
And I said that once we got past Weehee, I wouldn't need to tell you what happened in the batter's previous trip. For the next 7 batters, you can just assume that it was a strikeout. And quickly, she has Prickett down 0-2. And Clare gets her 10th K in this game.
It's just so incredibly tough if you're a team that's, and at this point in the game, the Chieftains are obviously still doing all they can to get back in to try to win the game, but it's just so tough when the pitcher you're going against is unbelievably good at not only getting the strikeouts, but at minimizing the damage if the ball does get hit. I mean, just so incredibly good at making sure whatever damage is done is minimal. But so far today, there has been no damage to be done, truly, since the first inning.
I don't know if
completely clear here.
Tongi mindset's on winning this game anymore. I think just getting good reps in against one of the best pitchers in the state. Try and make sure that you watch the ball out of the hand, understand how she's going to attack you, and try and learn. I think that this is a big opportunity here for these Tongi batters, just to prepare themselves for games later on this season where they'll be playing pitchers who are maybe more hittable, but that they can try and do their best here, getting some reps against one of the best around.
Yeah, there is no better practice.
She hits her 11th strikeout to end the fourth, and the Cardinals will need to just score one. Or no, they need to, yeah. What is that the game?
Say, I would know better than you.
Where is that?
The mercy rules as far as high school goes. Getting some clarification on those numbers.
So we will go to
right
a break
now.
here and be back at the bottom of the fourth.
Question.
The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small town hospitality at a valued price. High quality hickory smoked meats, house seasonings, and time tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Rowe, here today to encourage you to connect with 811 before you dig.
And I'm Micro, and I'm here because I love to dig in the dirt.
It's true. He's also here because he's very small and not that bright. Here, for instance, we can see Micro doing what he loves to do. And here we can see the consequences of not doing what he should have done. Dude, why didn't you call 811?
I forgot the number.
See? Not that bright.
All right, so back here in the bottom of the fourth, if the Cardinals would put up one more run, this game could be over through 4, which would be the first time the Cardinals have ended a game that early by beating their opponent that comfortably. Brings in Lexia Bourne, 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. Continuing to battle here with Steen, who through 3 innings of work has allowed 14 hits, only 6 earned runs on her despite the 16 runs against. Team has not been super helpful in the field, as you will have seen for sure. She has walked 3 batters, has also thrown a wild pitch. And this one will be hit to left, but it'll go foul.
Going back to what you, man, I'm thinking about what you said when we came back in, that it would be the earliest they've ended a game this season. That speaks to impressiveness when you realize what roster we're talking about here. With how good this team is, how many games they've just won in dominant fashion, this would still be one of the highest highs of the year for them.
Trying to win a 9th straight here. I don't think we've mentioned our trademark name for this. As Bourne turns around on one. This could be the final one of this game, and it is. Bourne with a walk-off homer, which makes it sound more intense than it actually is.
Yep.
But she puts the Cards up by 15 to end the game. Bourne with her 3rd homer on the season. It's a 2-hit day, and that will be it for softball here today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're not done just yet. We'll go to a post-game show, but Lexia Bourne sends the Cardinals home happy with a lead-off homer to mercy rule the Chieftains here 17-2. The sentence I was in the middle of there is we haven't called this our Battle of 212. The name I came up with for this rivalry I think needs to catch on, because this is a rivalry that's been going on across many sports for more than almost 100 years.
Yep.
So the Battle of 212 emphatically won by the Cardinals here today 17-2. When we're back, it's the post-game show. We'll wrap this one up.
Just like the Cardinals are striving for success, Kaw Valley State Bank's mission is your success. At Kaw Valley State Bank, they provide the best, most efficient, courteous, and professional banking services possible. And at Kaw Valley, they recognize that the customer and their satisfaction is the most important ingredient to growing their community. With all the services you've come to expect from the hometown partner you deserve, Kaw Valley State Bank, online at kvsb.com, a proud supporter of Eudora Schools.
High-quality foods, friendly service, great prices, and a connection to the community that is unsurpassed. That's Jean's Heartland Foods in Eudora. Family-owned, Jean's Heartland Foods offers a convenient one-stop shop, delivering the everyday essentials you need to specialty items from around the world. Jean's friendly staff is here to help you find exactly what you're looking for. You have options when it comes to feeding your family. Choose to support local. Choose Jean's Heartland Foods, 1402 Church Street in Eudora, or online at heartlandfoodstores.com. The MVPs of BBQ. That's Barbed Wire Barbecue in Eudora. Family-owned and operated, Barbed Wire Barbecue delivers great food and small-town hospitality at a valued price. High-quality hickory-smoked meats, house seasonings, and time-tested recipes put Barbed Wire Barbecue a cut above the rest. Kick off your weekend with their delicious brunch on Saturdays and Sundays and enjoy game day your way with Barbed Wire Game Day Packs. Visit them at 601 East 10th in Eudora or see their full lineup of flavors at barbedwirebarbecue.com.
Eudora Parks and Recreation is committed to creating community through parks, people, and programs. Their goal is to provide recreational opportunities for the community of Eudora that will enhance and promote a healthy lifestyle for all ages. The Eudora Parks and Recreation Department gives Eudora residents and others from surrounding communities the opportunity for family-oriented activities. Visit their website at eudoraparksandrec.org to view their youth and adult programs, leagues, memberships, facilities, activity guides, and more, and follow them on all social media at Eudora Parks and Rec.
Are you looking for a trusted partner in pet care? Look no further than Eudora Animal Hospital, proudly serving Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975. Eudora Animal Hospital offers a wide range of services, including wellness exams, surgeries, routine vaccinations, and emergency care.
I just want to thank everybody in the community for trusting us with the care of their animals, and go Dogs!
Schedule an appointment by calling 785-542-3265 or visit eudoravet.com.
All right, welcome in here to the post-game show brought to us by Eudora Animal Hospital. They've been serving pets in Eudora and the surrounding area since 1975 and are proud supporters of Eudora Cardinal Athletics. It was a comfortable win here today. 17-2 is our final score. It was just an offensive onslaught here in the Battle of 212. Sam Clare went the 3 complete innings, or I guess 4 complete innings would be the way that it went here. As Cardinals get their earliest mercy rule on the year. Sam Clare's record goes up to 6-0, her 5th complete game win. Hayden, what do you make of the way this one all played out?
Domination. Complete and utter domination. I mean, that first inning, I wouldn't even call that entire first inning the Cards sleeping per se. I would say Tonganoxie just came out hot. 1 or 2 little slight errors from the Cards. And the Chieftains really showing up kind of with a fire lit under them early on, allowed those 2 early runs and made this thing look like it could have been competitive all the way through. But the second inning, Cards stretched it out, made it 4-2 at the end of that one. And then that third inning just completely ended any hopes that the Chieftains may have had today. Everybody was hitting well. The outfield play for the Chieftains certainly helped. As you said, pitching for Tonganoxie was not necessarily bad per se, just wasn't being done a whole lot of favors, particularly out there in left field. The Cards were just picking on those outfielders all day long. The sunlight certainly helped them out. That setting sun making it really tough to track the ball, I would have to imagine. But Cards just picked apart these Tonganoxie Chieftains today. Did a really, really good job across the board. Once they realized where that chink in the armor may have been, they attacked it mercilessly and really shuts down that 2-game win streak that Tonganoxie had going. They now fall to 5-4 on the year. Cards move on to 9-0 and into another doubleheader later on, I believe.
Yeah, they've started this year really hot. Looking at some top performers, Brooks drove in 5 runs, including the homer. She had her first homer on the year. That was back in the first inning. Claire struck out 11 batters today, putting her season tally up to 72. So just a really strong performance. Those 2 being the primary ones. But, of course, you want to talk about Katie Corder. She had a couple hits and a walk, stole 4 bases, hit a double in this game. Alexia Bourne hit the walk-off home run, the Mercy Rule walk-off. We can just go through the full stat sheet here. Corder and Bourne both going 2 for 3. Bourne with 3 runs driven in. Pattison went 1 for 2 and worked a walk. Burris 2 for 3, drove in 3 runs. Claire went 1 for 3. Brooks 2 for 3, 5 runs driven in, scored 3 runs herself. Cundiff went 3 for 3 with a run driven in and a couple runs scored. Hammis went 1 for 3 with 2 driven in, got her first hit on the year and her first couple RBIs on the season. Arnold went 1 for 3 with a couple runs driven in as well. There were 5 doubles in the game, 2 homers for the Cards, 5 total stolen bases. And then Sam Clare with her 4th complete game win, going 4 innings, allowing only 2 hits, 2 runs, neither of them earned, 11 strikeouts, and 1 walk issued. And I guess since we are here on Varsity Sports Live, we'll go ahead and run through the Tongi stats too.
Why not?
Tongi Maslak went 1 for 2, scored a run, put off the catcher, worked a walk, and scored a run. Weehee went 1 for 2. Those are the only batters that recorded hits or reached. Maslak doubled, and there were 3 errors in the game for Tongi, which led to the 10 unearned runs. Put off, Weehee, and Prickett are the ones that I've got scored with the errors. Those are unofficial scoring, of course. That's what I've got down. Steen went the 3 innings in this game. Does cop the L. Gave up 15 hits, 17 runs, 7 of them earned, and walked 3 batters. Also had a wild pitch. There were a couple passed balls in the game. So, yeah, a very, very comfortable win for the Cardinals. Sam Clare absolutely dominating, but the offense really dominating too. There's just that dual-headed sword, whatever you want to describe it. This Cardinals team, this is the way that they win. They will shut you down on defense, and they will crush you on offense. And there's just nothing you can do about that. I mean, if one cylinder isn't firing, a lot of times the other one can pick up the slack. The Cardinals haven't needed that yet this year, as they are 9-0 to start the season, but just seeing how dominant they are, and we will get to see them again. We decided to get a couple softball games in here this spring because they've got the multiple Johnson County commits, 5 future college athletes, and just some names that I think the world of softball will be hearing for a long time. And I think the primary one there is Samantha Claire. I think could genuinely be someone that makes her name known on the national stage.
Absolutely.
And so we will be back here for their senior night, May 13th. There will be a doubleheader here to end off the final home game of the regular season, and we will be there. Of course, the Cardinals have a lot more action going on over the rest of the year. They have a game tomorrow against Seaman in Topeka, and then they take on Spring Hill, Wellsville down the line. They've got a lot of action coming up. They've started the year really, really solid, 9-0, and thank you for tuning in here on this Thursday game. Boy, it was a quick one. Took just a little over an hour, about an hour and 5 minutes, only a 4-inning game. Very comfortable win for Hayden Harves and myself, Reed McAvoy. Thank you so much for tuning in. Go Cardinals, and have a good rest of your week.